Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Lorebreakers, episode 5, Fonts of Inspiration. So, today's episode's going to be a bit different, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, usually in the past we've just chatted about a particular topic, what we like, don't like, and then we try to come up with something a bit unique. Do something a bit different this time. We're just going to...
Freeform.
Free
Run this shit. We're going to run right over every topic imaginable. Nah, we're going to be talking like just stuff that inspires us or like type of stories or like telling or hearing.
Yeah, if we ever needed any evidence that we only do this in one sitting, that's it right there. That is staying in.
I mean, the most we do is the car ride over here to talk about the subject normally.
Just warm up.
Yeah, and then we maybe 10-15 minutes of warm up and then talk about other subjects.
Yeah. Great, now we've sold off our entire creative...
Uh-oh.
But yeah, just chat for a bit about what we enjoy in stories and, fiction and sort of... Because, I do... We're both somewhat creative in our own ways.
Yeah.
So just sort of what gets us in the mood for that and sort of how we get inspired for it.
So I'll throw to you first. What's your favourite genre?
Damn.
Got him.
Straight out of the fucking gate. But I'm one of those where sci-fi and fantasy are my favourite. Absolutely. I do like the occasional bit of mystery, that kind of thing in horror, but fantasy and sci-fi, always find the one I find myself coming back to,
Yeah.
Can always sit down and a Lord of the Rings or Warhammer 40k, never get tired of it.
I wouldn't have known you like the grand epic stuff, considering when we talk about story making, you're the first one to go, so the gods descended from the stars.
You got to start somewhere. You might as well start up and build your way down.
top down design, that's all I'm saying.
Trickle down storytelling.
Yeah, basically.
If you start with the gods, the little gnomes will eventually get something.
Basically. Oh my god.
That's how this works, right? Jimmy the farmhand will eventually get his storytelling eventually. I just need to devote 3 pages to Zeus, and eventually Jimmy will have his moment.
Zeus and all of his ex-wives he's being dragged to court with.
We need to be careful about dragging the pre-podcast conversations in.
Hey, I'm not going to bring any further.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's the kind of stuff I never get tired of. It is basically got wall to wall of bookcases full of the stuff, and just can't get tired of it. On your end, then, I think.
I'd say urban-based, really, fantasy.
Yeah, I could have figured that.
Yeah, I like the more, you might know this, down-to-earth sort of storytelling. I've heard characters, and then build the world around the characters. Then it's like the opposite of you, basically.
Yeah, only half the time. I do really enjoy world building, but I do really enjoy characters at the same time.
I mean, I
don't
do
neglect my characters.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just saying, typically mine's more, I'd say detective-focused or heist-focused, given most of my stuff.
Mr. Sly Cooper over here.
I wasn't even going to go there yet. That's a thief story. That's a different thing entirely. I'll get to that one.
It's still, though, isn't it? Same genre.
It's adjacent. But yeah, normally the world buildings, that's either set up to be cool, modern day setting, here's the stuff you need to know, the gangs, the clans, the gangster disciples, if you get the reference. That's a wrestling reference. That's, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head, try not to stall the time.
That's the wrestling thing ticked off the list. We've met our quota for that.
You've already said Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
And Warhammer.
Yeah.
What was it? New Jack? That was New Jack's fucking tag team. But that's the sort of thing I like, just more down to earth. I've got the Rivers of London books, the manga that's there's Scott Pilgrim, it's more character down to earth.
Did you ever get the chance to go and meet the author for that?
No, I was in work. Next time. Yeah. Next time we'll get him.
Next time. What's the Rivers of London book guy name again? What's the author?
Ben Aronofsky.
Do you want to pass?
It's Ben Aaron something.
It's Ben Aronovich.
That's the one.
So yeah, if you're listening, Ben Aronovich, absolutely, just book something anywhere for the Northwest, Manchester, Liverpool, in the UK, do it. Just so this guy can get a signed copy of your books.
Make sure it's a weekend too.
You say that, but you work
no
weekends.
Wednesday shit. No Wednesday shit.
You work weekends though.
Sometimes I can say I'm sick and make people think it's a hangover.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
So anyway, yes, now that we've got the base, like, what's our favorite genre shtick out of the way.
I mean, to be fair, like, in terms of, like, we don't... I bet it's pretty obvious in terms of, regards to the fact that, yeah, both of us are creative. That's how we actually bothered to do the podcast regarding fiction and, and world building and writing and that kind of thing. So it's like, in terms of what we actually do, like, I know you're more than musical stuff, but at the same time, though, like, you're the guy that edits all these videos and such, like,
and do all the thumbnails. I mean, that's just a continuation from stuff I was doing before, like, this, anyway.
Yeah.
I'd first say, like, I mean, there's also the painting models we both did. You still do, I believe.
Yeah, I still do that from time to time. Not that I say I'm very good at it.
My unfinished Gundams are literally to your right.
That it is. To be fair, you've done more than last time I saw it.
I got to a part where there's like a part that won't fit in, and it says it's supposed to fit in, and I'm like, I am actually gonna break you before I put you back together. Bit back on topic though. So where are you going with that? Are you just trying to say where do you find inspiration from?
Basically, yeah. I mean, basically start from the ground, just finding out where what we actually do before we talk about how we get inspired by. Just on the opposite, if you hadn't guessed, I do enjoy writing as a hobby in my free time. Not that I'll say for a second that I've ever published anything. Never said I was an accomplished writer by any means.
You'll never find my old fanfic account.
No, you'll never find that. It's burned. I found the guy that deleted it and I buried him. I buried him deep. He's never going to be found.
I'll burn that site down before you find it.
There was a server building. Was. But yeah, no. Just for that though, because just to move on to the actual topic, which was the source of inspiration. I mean, at the end of the day, like, especially on Mindsight, you have to consume. It's the pretty much first thing you ever get told is to be agreed. You have to consume what you want to create. So reading, absolutely. Like, I have an absolutely ridiculous collection of novels and books, ebooks, audiobooks. Audible was absolutely the worst thing to ever happen to my free time. It was the worst thing.
Or the best.
Those free credits don't last 12 hours when they hit my account, I swear to God. But yeah, no, it's absolutely just, gotta consume it. And I do read a lot of fiction and, fantasy, sci-fi. I do read the occasional Stephen King book. I used to read Darren Shan when I was young. So,
What's Darren Shan done again?
He was... Calling it horror seems a stretch, but it was basically youth horror.
Can you give me the books, like, titles?
Have you ever seen... What was it called? There was the vampire series did a movie for a while back.
Twilight.
No, thank God for that. The one I mainly read was the what they call the Demon Artist series.
I think I've seen them in passing because we had them in school, I believe.
Yeah, as that's the kind of thing you read when you're in high school. It was stuff like, God, this is me trying to remember now a book series from so long ago. Listen, I never read the fucking vampire like carnival nonsense with it.
I like the sound of that though.
I never read any of that. I read the first book and that was about it. But no, the demon stuff was what interested me. Sort of reading about like characters like Lord Lost, the crazy guy, the crazy guy that's just like Voldemort but without his legs.
Okay.
And it's just tendrils of flesh and stuff, and kind of eldritch in that way. But then I don't know, it was fun. It was kind of the only thing I've ever seen that's done stuff like time travel well as well. But
it's like baby Lovecraft.
Sort of, yeah, a little bit. So yeah, I'll probably say that, but it wasn't cosmic horror in the same way. It was the way that it sort of the only sort of stuff it had in common was like the demons when you met them were meant to be that level of absurdly powerful that you don't deal with them, you just run.
Okay.
But apart from that, no, they didn't hide anything. There was no crazy, look at the demon, you go insane. It was just, this is a crazy tentacle monster and it's coming for you.
It's more the traditional like Christian way they view demons.
Sort of, yeah, actually. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. But yeah, no, it's just stuff like that. Just, I'm the kind of person where if I read something and I really enjoy it, I'm like, okay, I want to write this now. So yeah, anything I produce will it's like, I'm guessing you've been reading a lot of sci-fi lately. Why? Because so for some reason that that bit you've written for the roleplay is certainly out in space, and it's just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Capiche?
I'm gonna kick this one back to you because otherwise I'll just ramble forever.
Let's see. Starting points. I'll see a piece of art. Like, literally, I'll see, like, in passing, I'll be like, that's a cool picture. Cool, I'm going to make an entire world based around that. I hear a lyric in a song, and I go, that's a cool passage. I'm going to make an entire character around that, and then the world's going to come from that.
This guy, remember the Pete Wall of Ariandel from Dark Souls? This guy's where that shit came from.
Look, all I'm saying is that I'll hear, like, a passage in a song, and I'll go, cool, I've imagined fight scenes of that. How did we get to that point? Okay, I'm going to work backwards from there. How do I justify this A and B I've got in my head of these two characters that don't exist?
How do I justify the bullshit?
How do I get to a point where I can make a movie and I can license this song and have this scene done in real time?
Yeah, that's it. That'll be a real cool scene from a movie. Okay, how do I work this?
Okay, working backwards from the cool fight
What is
scene.
it, the wrestling approach? It's the cool. We'll start with the rule of cool, and we'll justify it later.
I mean, wrestling's mainly like, you two are going to fight because you're big characters, you'll draw money, here's a 4-month window, we'll plot it out as we go.
Here's money, go fight.
Literally, like, one of the storylines got cut short because one guy just verbally destroyed the other person. It's like, cool, we're going to move you on to the next guy, go to the lower cards of a person.
Literally, you verbally broke him in half. We can't have you two fight anymore because there is nothing left.
No, this is how bad it got. So they had a program called Saturday Night Heat.
Yeah.
Where it's basically the B show. Normally it's like people that like very low on the card go on. It's like normally the warm-up show before like the proper one because it's pre-taped. And The Rock had a segment on there and he destroyed the career of a guy called Billy Gunn so fucking hard on that segment that it did just destroy his career. He did a part where he's like, God, it's me, it's Billy. I need your help. There's no way I can beat The Rock. Now, Bobby, my name's Billy. Shut up, your name doesn't matter. And The Rock did his actual proper speech because I'm trying to rehash that.
You're trying to channel The Rock.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. Ask Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Stab. But you know,
I had to double take on that.
Yeah. wait a second. Oh, now I remember. But yeah, that was how hard The Rock butchered him in that promo, and that was on the B show that basically hardcore fans watch and people that show up early for the show.
So, for those of you that camped outside to go watch, Monday Night Raw, here's this.
Yeah, basically you get The Rock butchering careers.
Yeah, that's it. Here's the list of guys that we've set up for execution. Here's The Rock.
Here's the executioner.
Yeah. It's like, here's The Rock. And when they need to bury them, here's The Undertaker.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty funny if you want to watch, the A-listers go absolute ham on someone.
That's the thing is like, I've shown you like the John Cena destroys Roman Reigns stuff from a few years back. Imagine that, but there was no way in hell Roman was going to come back from that.
In other words, what we all wish would have happened.
Oh no, he's bounced back because they turned him heel finally.
Eventually.
Yeah. But imagine if, I don't know, that was, pick a lower mid-card guy from around that time period. Fuck, I need to remember who was on the roster back then. I don't know. Imagine The Miz 2007 met Cena 2015 when he was on the fucking tour. No chance he'd get a career after that.
No.
But back to actually inspiration, like I said, just kind of... I'll see an art piece, I was looking up swords for another character I'm possibly making.
Yeah.
That was the alternative for a thing that happened the other night that you know about.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw one, I'm like, cool. That's made the entire build right there for the character and how his backstory comes to be.
That looks badass. How do I make this work?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rule of cool, that's how I run by, basically.
I mean, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, he's like, okay, this sounds really awesome. How do I justify this?
How can I get back to Ichigo from this sword?
Yeah. Also, it's kind of weird for being like a high fantasy guy, but I really really, I get bad on a crutch for having to justify everything. Like I am bad. Like I'm the kind of guy that when I'm sat down with a couple friends trying to hash together a story,
You write a novella to justify one character blinking.
absolutely. I'm the kind of guy who like my friends would be like, okay, so this thing's really cool. Let's do let's get the guy on the back of the dragon. It's flying and it's breathing fire and it's really cool. And it's like, and then this guy's gonna get this awesome kill. And I'm like, that doesn't work though. Why would the dragon actually let him ride around its back? Also, why? It's like, what justification do we have?
400 years ago, the
it's
dragon
like-
was untrustworthy till he met the one person that convinced him.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, so how do we justify the guy actually being on the back of the dragon? Like, do we have to work on some kind of cooperation between them? What have you done? What have you done for the dragon? What have you done for this kingdom? Is it a one kingdom thing? I am the guy that thinks way too hard about this kind of thing.
Why is his name Mogul the Wise?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why is he called the Wise? Do we need to like work on that or something? Do we need to like just... What happened to my accent?
I don't know. You broke into a different character then.
Hey, walking on... How do
You
we-
a changeling? Step in this moonlight. Step into the moonlight.
Never show the lights. Never show the light on my character art piece. That's how we keep the suspense going.
Literally.
But no, I am that kind of person where I will try. I will want to know the reason why, and it's kind of why I like D&D and like Tolkien and stuff like that. And 40k somewhere, it's like they do go into that level of nonsense, and I'm like, yeah, this is okay. Now I'm satisfied. Now I'm happy. Now I got to write something for this.
Okay, I've got a wizard, but why is he a wizard? Why did he study magic?
Yeah, that was bad for like when I was making like the Hobgoblin Wizard. I'm like, why would he become a wizard? How is he here? Why would he do that? It's like, okay, so guys. Okay, so he got kidnapped by dwarfs.
That's always the start point.
Yeah.
Can't wait to link this to the people in like 4 weeks or 5 weeks when this actually comes out from our D&D group, being like, here's Zando's backstory.
Will this actually come up in the story? Probably not, but I like
Look,
knowing it's there.
Here's
just in
the
case.
time frame. Listen to the episode, you'll get the backstory.
Yeah, it's like we need to write up an actual novel just to explain my characters there at level 1.
You're the guy that, oh my god, I'll show you something funny afterwards. I asked our DM, she was talking about another campaign. I went, so what's your character concept? And he sent me an entire backstory.
Beautiful.
And I was like, I asked for concept, not like
Well-
5 pages of fucking lore
So I asked for the concept, not the context.
for your level 1 character.
Ooh, that's a bit much. Honestly, though, him asking me to write up, like, how would you describe your character's quarters? I'm like, oh, you have no idea what you've done.
He asked me that, and I'm like, well, what do you mean this room for? Is this like minor RP shit, or like an actual room I'm supposed to like put foes in for what it looks like? And then he was like, no, it's just basically to have like small RP stuff in between sessions. And I'm like, oh, that makes more sense. Meanwhile, you're like the full like sketchbooks. How would he design this room? And I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie, like I am straight up like, okay, so he's literally gone like wall to wall with furs. He doesn't sleep in a bed. He sleeps in a massive like leather hammock and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm going way too much into this.
he sleeps in a leather jockstrap.
Yes. Like, you walk through the door, it's like walking into the set of 300. It's like... Literally.
Why is there a hole in the middle of the fucking 5th floor?
Boobo.
Hoot! I've escaped finally! Kicks back in. No! Hoot!
What we do is we strap an anchor to the owlet and just drop him in. But we need to actually get back on topic.
Yeah.
Because this, I'm not
No,
gonna
this is the
lie.
entire point. This is just free-flowing.
This is the entire point of this, because we knew for a second talking about the stuff we like is going to result in a million tangents. And
Welcome to Lore Taste.
we knew this was going to happen from the get-go.
You want to know where my character concept for Diamond came?
Go on.
I wanted to make a bard, and I liked Kastar as a race.
Yeah, okay.
And then from there, I was like, cool, I picked Silverquill. Let's go.
Let's go.
And then I just like, we got dropped in, and I went, cool, let's fuck about and find out.
You see, you're like, okay, so this race seems really cool and I want to play this class. Let's do that. I'm like, okay, so I want to play. I know I want to play a wizard. What race seems really? What race would seem decent and seems like it's kind of fun to play? Yeah, hobgoblins seem cool. Oh, now how do I justify him being there?
You're the pondering it. I'm like, haha, ha. Egyptian boy go, haha, bard.
Yeah. It's like, you're 2 sessions in, and I'm like, okay, so I finally justified this shit. Here you go.
I waited till level 3 before I even thought the backstory.
Yeah, I was absolutely thinking about that for far too long.
I no lie, I'm okay with retrofitting.
Yeah. Absolutely. But to be fair, like I'm the same. I don't know. Like I like making random characters based on that. Yeah, that seems cool. Why not? But then I do like the idea that okay, so why do we have a gnome barbarian? What drove the halfling to pick up an axe one day and say fuck the world? Which one of his 17 courses that day had too many vegetables and not quite enough pork for him to decide this is the day?
Schmebula, the barbarian.
Schmegula, the barbarian.
Oh.
Yeah, the Minotaur Artificer.
Oh, I'm trying to think of a fucking stupid name for that. What was the name of the fucking Minotaur that was in the labyrinth?
The labyrinth? Which one? They're all in labyrinth, Zach.
The main one. The one that's from Cree.
I don't know. I think it'll have a name. It will have a name, but I think it was just called the Minotaur.
He's called the Creator.
Yeah. Is it like,
you're pondering an actual name now, and I've spun on it.
Yeah. You are straight up making me think now. See if I actually know what this fucking Minotaur's
welcome
name
to
is.
real-time talks with Zach and Mike off camera.
That's gonna bother me now. The minute this podcast is over, I'm fucking googling that shit.
He is literally like, we've both not got our phones on us. We're doing straight talk for this one, pure talk.
Yeah, it's like shit. I got the itch. I got it cooking.
But now,
yeah, absolutely. But
so yeah, I've detailed how I may recover my stuff now, which is, haha, that's cool. How am I gonna retrofit it?
Yeah. To be fair though, like, I don't know. I do enjoy the world building side of things. I do love character design. Don't get me wrong, but world building is something that's a bit near and dear to me in the sense that I want to build it. I want to justify it. Like, why does this thing have walls? Like this was an issue in my in the Sidekicks episode I did for the rumors. It's like okay, so we're gonna start we're gonna generate the culture around. I think like Newport was the name I came up with for it. It was like okay, so this thing's an international trade hub. These all the rumors we're going to generate on the cross-cultural shit. Okay, so how does that affect the people in there? Like I think I came up with this Word coming up with a new form of slang that he picked up from some trader across the ocean, and it's causing nonsense like that. like
God, the unedited version of that episode's probably like half an hour.
Something like that. I did have pages and pages of notes. To be honest, the next Sidekicks I did have pages and pages of notes. Did
when I send you the first episode when it was done, did you go, oh shit, I've done way too much research on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Like when you said, because I was already halfway through done writing it when you sent me the first Sidekicks episode, and I was like, oh shit, that's not what I've done at all. I need to redo it. Like, cut back.
Uh-oh, I've got to tie in this up.
Yeah, basically. That was the problem for the next one. It's like, shit, how do I... Like, because the next one was it weapons? Like, yeah. Spoiler alert. It's weapons.
A spoiler alert for an episode that's already out.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, it's weapons in fiction. I'm like, oh shit, that's a lot to talk about. How do I break this down into like a 10-minute episode? Because I'm like, okay, great. So I'm talking about this aspect, and then I'm like, oh, right, I've written over a page and a half of notes for this, of script, not notes, script for this thing, and I'm like,
thank God I'm doing the Sidekicks for this episode.
I'm not gonna lie, if I had to do the Sidekicks for every episode, that shit would not be healthy.
I'm not looking forward to if you do your own version of open world.
Listen.
I'm telling you, you have a 15-minute time limit. 15 fucking minute. Anything
Literally.
more and you do yourself.
Literally, you'll reach the 15-minute part. It'll just cut out. So, like, there'll be like a sign saying like the funding was cut or something.
Hard cut. It's Zach here. I'm going to tell you, you're not getting the rest of this.
Just no.
No.
Just no.
He has spent pontificating this entire time about why the Minotaur's letters spell out his name.
I wouldn't even be sorry.
I'll be running out of wrestling stuff to put in to annoy you with the words you say.
Oh, you assume that would annoy me.
So yeah, back trying to get back on topic, I guess, for a failing subject.
Who cares at this point? To be fair, no, there will be that one or two people that care that we are barely keeping on subject here. Hey Dan, how you doing?
Hey Danny. Name a book, a movie, a TV show, and a game. I'll go first. And we can't pick the normal ones.
We can't pick the normal ones.
Yeah, so no fucking World of Warcraft for you. What's League of
Fine.
Legends. I can't have Sly Cooper and the gang. And then the usual stuff too. So no typical like our go-tos.
Yeah.
So I'll start with video game because I've got a cheat sheet right in front of me.
Get fucked.
Recording this and all my games are currently like to the side of us, so I can let's just go. And I'm gonna pick you. The only problem is though, like I've got to try and read them from this distance.
Good luck.
I'll pick Alice and Madness Returns.
Okay.
Yeah. Mainly the thing I like about that is it's mainly the design of the world itself. The story itself's okay, but the interlocking parts of the steampunk gothic horror world, I find it fascinating, especially the way they twist and turn typical Alice in Wonderland, what you know as the characters like the centipede or like the bugs, the rabbit, the Mad Hatter, the Queen of Hearts, and all that, and like how the world's twisted to fit this new madness perspective of Alice going through Victorian London poverty.
Okay. Do you want to take turns and do this? So you have time to think of your next one.
I mean, I was like, I've already thrown you on the fucking bus once for genre. And now, like that one's mainly for like artistic standpoint. Like I think all looks cool graphically. Story's a bit shit. But the way it's put together and just the way the actual inner piece of the world connects, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Book. You're gonna try and cut me off of this one, but I will think of it a little bit. It's not good enough. I want to pick the Eisenhorn series.
Okay.
It is 40k, but it's like there is a reason why, and that's because I mean it's I'd say it's not niche within the Black Library, but I feel that with all the grandiose spectacle that is that particular work of fiction, but that world of fiction, but Eisenhorn sort of breaks it down in a way that I feel is I don't know, like it localizes it and it gives you a really going on into the Ravenous series as well. I really like and also it's investigation, so it's not the usual nonsense, but I don't know, just the way it portrays the characters and the way that it builds the world up around you. You get a genuine insight into how this, it gives you a genuine insight into the variety of nonsense that you can find just on a. Go on.
Was that the one that introduced the concept of Vox into 40k, or was that
No, that's
Caiaphas Cain?
So Caiaphas Cain is kind of unique in the sense that
Oh no, you know the term like the Vox, how they talk and that?
yeah.
Dan Abnett introduced that in one of those two books.
Okay.
There's a factoid
I was
for
going to
people.
say it's Caiaphas Cain wasn't Dan Abnett. It was 70 something. I don't know. But no, Caiaphas Cain is kind of unique. I think Caiaphas Cain is actually probably one of the best novels to read for trying to get into because this beautiful thing. It's kind of like a universe inception because. You're basically reading the character's memoirs as he remembers them in retirement, and it's being edited by an inquisitor who's making.
Yeah, I've read these.
Yeah, who's making little footnotes at the bottom of the pages, like no, this is what he actually means. This is okay. So this is
Here's
just
the facts.
Yeah, it's like okay,
and the sass.
So this is what he actually means. This is what he actually means. This is what this bit of slang means. That person that he's writing about sleeping with, she's a bitch, she's dead, don't worry about it. I took care of that.
But What's the Imperial Guard book Dan Abnett wrote then, like early on?
What, the Gaunt's Go series?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's where Vox was introduced.
Yeah, and the Sabbath Worlds Crusade stuff. That stuff is cool. I do regret that I don't actually own the Sabbath Worlds books, but I've read a few of them.
I think I've got the first collection of them, like the first volume, like in terms of like stories collected on bus.
But I kind of like that stuff within stuff like that, and it's sort of why I mentioned Eisenhorn, because it's sort of you get the sort of the individualistic scale of 40k. You get to see the low levels of how this stuff operates. You get to see what's the misery within high worlds. Why do chaos cults form? It's kind of cool that your characters sort of have this sense of weirdness as they ascend this rotten old hive spire to investigate.
He's got a fact checker constantly checking his bullshit, telling you that probably most 40k actual official documents read are bollocks.
Yeah, I was like, to be fair, yeah, you don't have to worry about messing up your lore in 40k. That's also a beautiful thing as well, which he does take advantage of a fair bit. But no, my book series does have to be the Inquisition stuff from, does have to be the Eisenhorn and Ravena book series, absolutely.
I meant in terms of, and I bravely charged in the battle. He did not. He hid under a desk and drank a wine bottle. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. That's what I meant in terms of, unreliable narrator and a fact checker going, he is lying.
You know what? Straight up, if you have any interest in 40k, read the Caiaphas Cain books. They are just that good.
Do you like dickhead characters constantly being quipped at?
Yeah, do you like a roguelike hero with a sarcastic, cynical narrator just pointing out all the nonsense?
Do you wish just Squidward and Star-Lord merged as a personality?
Yeah, it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'd audiobook that if I could, if I could voice act. But no, absolutely, yeah, book series. Okay, on to you for what is it? Video? You've done video game.
I'm gonna do TV series.
Okay, you do TV series.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
I mean, it's an icon. It's classic. It basically introduced a new way of dialogue for people to actually talk on camera with Joss Whedon's Joss Whedonisms. Mm-hmm. It basically gave way, whether you like it or not, to the way dialogue is kind of fourth wall breaking to a certain degree, or kind of it knows its like genre cliches. Like the gang that Buffy was a part of, I mean, not the Slayers, like her actual like Xander and Willow and all that. They called themselves the Scooby Gang because they were constantly going around solving shit. Like, it knew what it was doing constantly. Not to mention when it actually did get into like the demonology stuff and like the more talking like how vampires are kind of demonic slaves to actual demons, and how time works different. If you go to the demon realm, it can be like an hour or two, though you come here from 3 or 4 weeks.
That's always a fun concept to play around with.
Yeah, it's spoiler for an almost 20-year-old show, but when Angel's son's kidnapped and taken to the demon world, he's missing for, I believe, a month or two, and he comes back as like a young adult trying to kill his dad.
Oh, okay.
Because he was raised by a vampire hunter.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. But
Abraham Lincoln now, vampire hunter.
Good movie. Shit movie. Good. But now, like, just on top of that, you've got the constant building of the Slayers, the fact that almost all of Whedon's worlds are interconnected by some degree if you pay attention to like the background details. For instance, the cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
Minor connections throughout for connecting that with Buffy to his Firefly show. Dollhouse thing has a few connections. With Wolfram and Hart itself from the Angel series, you have so many avenues that connect to other things. Not to mention, it's funny as fuck too.
I have noticed that you absolutely adore when shows just constantly cross over and interlink and reference each other. You are obsessed with that kind of thing.
It's fun. Like, Wolfram and Hart have a clientele that is the Yuandi Corporation. That is canon in the universe.
Is the what corporation?
Yuandi. How do you pronounce it? Weyland-Yutani.
Oh, Weyland-Yutani. Okay, yeah. So it's got the AVP crossover.
Yeah. What else? I don't want to give too much away for Buffy because there's just amazing
Spoilers for a 20 show. For a
30-year-old show. But it's more just like, I don't want to give like the funny parts away, like the haha, that's great in terms of writing. But in terms of just, like the world itself, the Slayers organization kind of starts this mysterious background thing until it eventually gets brought in and then wiped out and then has to be reset, but not really because it's still around.
Yeah.
It's a bit awkward, especially the later seasons when you kind of feel Whedon wasn't really feeling the writing of it. Still got some bitchin' episodes out of it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like that group dynamic of Buffy, Xander, Willow, Giles, Spike and Angel when they intermittently come in part of the cast, and other members that come in and out. Like Oz, he got done so dirty. But yeah, that's pro for TV shows. Is kind of. You go.
Try to avoid. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a video game for this next one, and probably for the opposite reason of just like for this is more just talking about inspiration rather than just I love the story of it. I'm gonna say Stellaris. Taking the time. What are we on?
We're about 35 minutes in.
Wow, that's all. Okay, so I'm gonna talk Stellaris, and it's the opposite reason. The game in itself doesn't it's a macro RTS. It's one of those things, but it doesn't really have a story of itself. It's the potential for narrative, which is the reason why I love it so much. It does the thing with all the crossovers because it's basically it's a little smorgasbord of all the bits from Sci-Fi. Like it has Arrakis from Dune as a reference. It's got Kerbal from Kerbal Space Program referenced. It's got Dyson spheres. It's got Matryoshka brains. It's got ring worlds. It's got, if you can think of it in Sci-Fi, Stellaris includes it, but. Just specifically, for the context of the podcast, the reason why I love it so much is the potential for narrative you have there, because when you pick your species and you pick everything, so you can decide the appearance, the name of the home world, what they look like, who their leaders are, and what kind of vessels they use, and also what kind of origin did they have? Were they unified? Are they wreckage of some other civilization? Are they someone else's slaves that have been elevated from primitives?
Yeah.
And it starts you off with a little bit with a couple paragraphs of just this is who you are, this is where you've come from. But from someone that loves the concept of world building and loves developing a growing narrative, I love that kind of thing. Because it's like you sort of play out. I love the idea that you can play out sort of the life of your empire. So and once again, it's going to sound incredibly nerdy in the sense that I don't know.
You like Space Age of Empires?
It's bigger than Age of Empires, but effectively, yeah. Like I don't know. I like the idea of building of an empire being built with an identity, with elements about itself, a culture that you can make decisions, you can choose and develop and build yourself from that. I mean, there've been Stellaris novels which build upon that concept, and it's really fun to do. I've even done it a little bit myself at some points. Like, people have built online narratives for particular empires that gets referenced in other games and official releases. It's like the idea that it's also why I love communal stuff as well. It's that you can slowly build this narrative that continues to go and go and go as time goes on, and eventually you develop sort of like a cultural identity for this game, and the empire within it. Like, are you the kind of guy that will go and pop a planet because some guy said that you look too soft to be worth it, or some guy insulted your rock music, so you went ahead and virus bombed his planet? It's like
wow, almost mic dropped Mike.
Almost mic dropped in the other one. But like, I like that kind of. Or are you the kind that just sits in the corner and build a massive, massive cross system, cross system, capitalist empire, and decides to play, and decides to play the political board for the entire game. It's like, I like that kind of thing, and that's sort of why I love the concept of role-play games on Stellaris, because you got a lot of fun there for storytelling and world building, and just that's why I love the game so much. But that's why I'm picking it. Kind of unconventional, but I'm gonna kick it back to you.
I've got film or book left. Oh man, that's a hard one.
I'm gonna say we'll cut it so you don't have to pick one because I'm struggling on TV series. I'm gonna be honest.
Really? You can't think of a TV series?
I don't really watch many TV series. I'm not counting like.
I mean, I'm not even saying you need to pick anything like recent. You can go back in time and pick something you liked as a kid and stuff, or like.
The thing is, yeah, it's kind of difficult. I don't watch as many TV series as I used to, and especially when it comes to watching like stuff I would watch for inspiration or would find cool based on my current interests. Not really. I don't know. I've been meaning to sit down and watch it, but I don't know. I'm the kind of person that will grow bored of it and never finish it. So
fair enough. I'll end with our Lord and Savior Chainsaw Man for my book.
A manga. Yeah, sorry, it counts.
I mean, the world building that's really good, especially with the devils and how they're set up to be. Yeah. They'll die in hell, they'll come be born on Earth. They die on Earth and they go back to hell. There's a constant cycle, and they don't remember the memories either side.
So it's the other world concept.
Yeah, like for the most part, if they die in hell, they won't retain the memories when they come to Earth, and then when they die on Earth, they go back to hell and don't retain the memories from Earth. Mm-hmm. Some of the exception, and some do. Depends on the demon and how powerful they are. Like, because they work off fears, so that's why you've got Chainsaw Man as the Chainsaw Devil.
Yeah.
You've got the Gun Devil, which is a major character in the thing. You get introduced to primal fears, so like the Darkness Devil.
That shit was terrifying.
Oh, I love that art though. You've also got like I think it's referenced, but you've got like the Fire Devil is one of the strongest devils because. Who knew humans fear fire? And all those amazing concepts you can think of. Any concept, like the Bat Devil exists. That's early on. I'm not going to give proper spoilers for this, but think of a fear and it's got a devil associated with it.
I do think they are pretty cool though. Thematically, they do look really awesome. I think I've read Chainsaw Man like you have, so I love that. I love that manga.
Especially when they reveal later on how the world's different and how it got different. I'm not going to say anything while the microphones are on, but I'll try and mouth it so you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's not going to work, mate.
Wait, give me a sec.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're on about now.
Hopefully that's not picked up on the microphone. If not, I'll fucking cut it out. Which I should have done in the first place, but fuck it, that's way easier to spot. But yeah, when that got revealed and he can do that and just do that, fuck me. Halloween is very important.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why that the horror festival is important in a world where there are literal demons built around fears.
I mean, somewhere in there's like a Cthulhu fucking demon.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
But yeah, and it's probably the most recent one, unless you've got something that can beat it in a second. But art's fantastic, story's fantastic. The way the world's set up is brilliant, especially with the devil hunting agency and how
that's fun.
Like, fuck it, I'll fucking go hunt devils. I can't do anything else in my life, so I'll fucking do that. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my girl Kobani. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna end on a movie.
Yeah.
And this will be an interesting reaction. I'm gonna pick How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay. Going low for this one.
How are we going low for this one?
I mean, what? Age of Empires in space and 40 fucking K. How to Train Your Dragon.
40K. How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
We're bringing the scale down here.
Look, you've gone from big ass sci-fi How to Train Your Dragon.
Beautiful. But no,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, you've literally gone. I've gone like, here's a character-based show, here's a character-based game, here's a character-based book. Space,
macro
galactic
world
empires.
building, character-based dragon movie. What is this?
Yeah.
Like, honestly though, like, I'm not proving a point now. But no, genuinely, this movie.
I don't remember the space age warfare. Yeah, go on.
Space dragons. Like, I'm gonna be honest. This thing really does have a little place in my heart, because like everything about this movie, and even the ones after it, to be honest, is just so good. The character-driven storytelling is incredible. The characters feel believable. genuine arcs. The music is gorgeous. The art style is amazing. The way that everything is put together is
worth the 3D ticket.
Yeah, absolutely worth the 3D ticket. Like, just I don't know. I love it. Just the way they've designed, just the way they designed each dragon to be uniquely different in some way and be be sort of iconic and doing their own thing. The way
Toothless.
Yeah. Like, for crying out loud, they even came up with the idea that that because Night Fury flames are so hot that the guy literally has retractable teeth so he doesn't scorch them.
Yeah, that's smart.
It's stuff like that. It's tiny little details like that from the Dragon Manual, but on top of that, it's just beautiful character-driven storytelling that fits a lot of development into a relatively short by modern standards movie runtime. It's the kind of movie where I could just sit and watch again and again and again and again, and always inspires. It is the kind of thing where I'll sit down and watch it, and immediately I'll want to go and write something.
So you're literally right. So, concept: boy and his dog, scratch out dog, dragon. And then Vikings.
It's great though. Also, yeah, it's just to touch on what you mentioned there. It's just I got nothing else to do, so I might as well hunt devils and Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
They have that where it's like we literally have nothing else. We have to hunt dragons.
I mean, there's more than that. They get attacked by them though. Just like in Chainsaw Man, how the Train a Dragon, are they connected? How they connected?
Dragon devil.
There probably is a dragon devil. Is it Toothless? Could it be Toothless?
Toothless is the dragon. That'll be a hilarious crossover. Yeah.
You mean Toothless is the devil?
You
said Toothless.
Yeah.
But you said Toothless is the dragon. I'm like, yeah, he is a dragon.
Yeah. To be fair, however you look at it, yeah, dragons were an incarnation of the devil according to Christian mythology, and at the same time, the Night Furies are called in the book as an I think it was somewhat like...
Hold on. They don't teach this in school. What the fuck?
It's somewhat like he is an incarnation of demons and death or something like that. It is... yeah, why not? Absolutely. Toothless is now the devil. But the cool devil.
Toothifer. I hope this is fun for you, the listeners. It is for us to chat shit about.
I feel like at some point we're gonna get told you have to cut down on just the nonsense laughing sections because it's gonna kill us, man.
Fuck it.
But honestly, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one for my movie because it is just. I don't know. I could watch it 1,000 times and never get bored of that movie.
I think it's not the entire franchise, not just the first one particularly.
I will talk about the entire franchise if you want.
Because I thought you'd be talking about the second one when they introduced the mom and the dragon shaman aspect.
Yeah, to be fair, it is a good way of it.
When she walked on street, I'm like, they've robbed that from Magic the Gathering. That's Sarkin.
That's Sarkin.
Right.
MILF.
Him, yes.
Sarkin MILF.
Upgrade. Stay.
She's single.
Spoilers. Spoil.
I'm not spoiling a fucking 10-year-old movie at this point. Is it 10 years? It's something like that.
Second one isn't.
No, first one was. So what? 8 years? I'm not caring about spoiling that movie. It's like, Stomach dies at the end. Who knew?
What's how you don't get on a Disney movie?
But even though, that decision and working through that is still, the way the characters are developed through that is, the reactions they give him, realistic, absolutely, and it's still. They managed to make it 3 children's movies, which, well, I say children's movies, adult movies, which are,
movies,
which have better storytelling than anything produced by Hollywood in recent memory. It's beautiful, and it's, I don't know, it's just great. And then moving on to the third one, which is maybe according to some it's the weakest of the series, but it's when you've got to compare it to those 2 movies,
we still got a great meme out of it.
Yeah, but even still though, one thing it does very well is it develops the characters and matures them over the course of 3 movies. It's something I think that a few other movies have done really well, which is just they understand that the audience that appreciates them gets older over time. So like
Toy Story.
Yeah. So they develop the movies to develop the characters to age more as time goes on. Every time you meet them, it's 5-10 years down the line.
A dragon story.
Yeah, but So yeah, when you first meet the cast in the first movie, they're basically young teenagers, 15, 16.
Yeah, Hiccup and all that.
Yeah, when you meet in the second movie, they're all 21. In the last movie, they're all in their late 20s. It's like, it's really interesting, and and the characters develop and mature as time goes on, to the point where, in the last movie, there's sort of the realization that, we got to make important decisions to fucking save everybody. I'm an adult now. I got to do this. I got to do the job that my dad did. But even at the end, having to realize that you got to make difficult decisions and being mature enough to make those decisions rather than just, it's sort of a reversal from when, from the first movie when he was like, I'm going to disobey my dad to go and save my dragon because fuck you, the dragons are awesome. And it's like, in the last movie, it's like, I can't, dragons are awesome, but I kind of got to let Toothless be happy, so I'm going to let him go with the rest of his kind and go and do their own thing because that's his place now. It's like, it's like, congratulations, you've written a really well-maturing character that's come to realize this, and it's just...
Toothless, go home now. Let me go, Elliot.
It's like E.T. but with dragons.
E.T. was a dragon all along.
That's it, yeah. E.T. was toothless all along.
E.T. demon?
E.T. demon.
E.T. demon?
Alien demon.
The dots, they're coming together.
Now we just got to reference it to zombie. To zombie.
E.T. blew up Zombieland. Oh god, that one's actually fucking spoiler. Oh, none of these fuckers are gonna be fucking like. If you made it this far after all this cackling, you deserve to know that's a spoiler for a show you're probably never gonna watch.
If you've made it this far in the podcast, you deserve to know that Zombieland Saga has aliens in it.
Potentially.
You say potentially.
That could be a fake out.
That could be anyone's UFO.
No, that could be revealed. And there's a UFO for our music video that's blowing up the city. You're now going to dance in space.
We're going to save Saga by blowing it up with a UFO.
Imagine that. The entire thing was just a part of a music video. We'll get in like the 6th episode being like, yeah, there's no aliens here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. No aliens. Just zombies. And magic.
Zombies.
And ancient mystical old men that's been around since the birth of this land. Yeah.
I don't think we can recover it at this point.
I think we've ended on a high note with squid.
Yeah, we'll end on a high note with dried squid. Why not?
The elegance.
Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to this absolute mess of a podcast.
This has been chaotic neutral, the episode.
Yeah, but it's been fun. I hope you've had much fun listening to it. We've had talking about it.
This has been fucking amazing.
But until next time, I've been Mike.
And I'm Zach, and this has been Lorebreakers. Bye.
See ya. For fuck's sake.